October 29, 2024 Daily Bread. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1 through 14. Key verse 8. Title: The feeblest among them will be like David. A prophecy. The word of the Lord concerning Israel. The Lord who stretches out the heavens, who lays the foundation of the earth, and who forms the human spirit within a person, declares, I am going to make Jerusalem a cup that sends all the surrounding peoples reeling. Judah will be besieged, as well as Jerusalem. On that day, when all the nations of the earth are gathered against her, I will make Jerusalem an immovable rock for all the nations. All who try to move it will injure themselves. On that day, I will strike every horse with panic and its rider with madness, declares the Lord. I will keep a watchful eye over Judah, but I will blind all the horses of the nations. Then the clans of Judah will say in their hearts, the people of Jerusalem are strong, because the Lord Almighty is their God. On that day, I will make the clans of Judah like a firepot in a woodpile, like a flaming torch among sheaves. They will consume all the surrounding peoples right and left, but Jerusalem will remain intact in her place. The Lord will save the dwellings of Judah first, so that the honor of the house of David and Jerusalem's inhabitants may not be greater than that of Judah. On that day, the Lord will shield those who live in Jerusalem, so that the feeblest among them will be like David. The house of David will be like God, like the angel of the Lord going before them. On that day I will set out to destroy all the nations that attack Jerusalem, and I will pour out on the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and supplication. They will look on me, the one they have pierced, and they will mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and grieve bitterly for him as one grieves for a firstborn son. On that day, the weeping in Jerusalem will be as great as the weeping of Hadad Rimmon in the plain of Megiddo. The land will mourn, each clan by itself, with their wives by themselves, the clan of the house of David, and their wives, the clan of the house of Nathan, and their wives, the clan of the house of Levi, and their wives, the clan of Shemiel, and their wives, and all the rest of the clans and their wives. Daily Bread Message. This is a prophecy concerning Israel and Jerusalem. The Lord who created the heavens and the earth and gives the Spirit in a person declares that Jerusalem will cause the surrounding nations to stagger. When all the nations gather against her, Jerusalem will be like an immovable rock. On that day, the feeblest and weakest among them will be like David. The house of David shall be like God. On that day, God will destroy all nations that come against Jerusalem. God will pour out a spirit of grace and supplication on that day. On that day, they will look on him, one whom they pierced. They will also mourn for him as one mourns for an only child. As God prophesied through Zechariah, he sent his son Jesus to be our anointing sacrifice for our sins. Jesus was pierced for our transgressions. Jesus, the firstborn of all mankind, died on the cross to redeem us from our sins. Jesus is an immovable rock that no one can move. In Jesus, the feeblest sinner will be strong like David. When we mourn for Jesus, who was hung on the cross in our place, we will receive salvation and will be used as mighty warriors of God. Prayer. Lord, thank you for making us mighty warriors in Jesus. One word, the feeblest among them will be like David.